Hello guys, welcome to my channel and also welcome to my new video. In this video, I'll be teaching guys how to set up your very own Pterodactyl panel in Google Cloud Platform. This will probably be my last final Google Cloud Platform video because I prefer to make a sketch video or some other videos that I want in this channel in my mind. But if you have any suggestion, leave a comment down below and I was considering making one. But this is gonna be the final Google Cloud Platform video. I'm not making any more of them, so this is the final one. So before we start this video, if you ever seen the video I made about the Pterodactyl panel, to actually wait for me to upload part 2. So this one's gonna be from start to finish. From the first setup, like the website part stuff like that, to the final product, like the server host and the panel stuff like that. So that's gonna be the final product. So let's get started and no more mumbling. So first thing first, if you ever watch my Google Cloud Platform, yeah. So create instance, simple as that. This is gonna be for your website, or if you want to merge a panel into a server as well, you can make a single virtual machine that has like both the website and the server. But I suggest you don't do that, so it doesn't get conflicted. So I suggest you make a separate one for the website and the second one for the server. So first we're gonna make a website first. So let's go to host thing website. You can call it anything. I don't really mind. Region, actually, yeah, it's actually best if you go closer, but it doesn't really matter about the location for the website part. That's not a big deal for it. So for me, it's just Singapore. The machine type, please keep it lower to like around to 4 GB or 2 GB memory, because that's like the minimal part. That's pretty much it. Boot this, don't even need that much. You keep it at 10. Ubuntu or Debian, you can choose any. I prefer Ubuntu version, any version to be honest. I'll go 20. Actually, for the panel part, you have to set up at least Ubuntu 18 or 20. I suggest 20 because it's more like this. You can keep the same DS if you want. I don't really mind. Click select. Firewall, allow this to. That's the most important one. And that's pretty much it. Just hit create, and now the virtual machine will create. For the second one, we're gonna create a new instance as well for the server part. So we can call this let's say server 1. It can be anything if you want. Choose any region that is closest to you. Singapore. Machine type, it's gonna be a full-on server, so you can just choose any standard one. Don't choose the shared one unless you really want to minimize it. So let's just stay with like 8 to 32. I don't really mind. So 8 GB for me. Boot dates, it can be Debian or Ubuntu. As usual, Ubuntu 20.04. Boot dates as increase it up to 25 or 50 if you want to make it two servers. You can keep that same. Firewall, actually, you don't need to tick this at all. But on the network tag, let's call this node. Because it's gonna be for the server porting and stuff like that. Put network tag as node or anything that you can memorize it, and hit create. I will create the server. Now once it's all set up and you see your host website is running now, click SSH. Next, go to the description and have this script ready. They're all separate, so this is like each line is commands. So don't like copy the whole thing and just paste it. Now that won't work. So you have to paste like this. So copy that. So you have to go to sudo s because it won't work if you using a user not root. So you have to be in root. Copy and paste that. Click enter. For this, we're gonna set up a website. So we're gonna install the panel. But I said if you want to make it into a single virtual machine for your server and the website, you can choose install both 1 and 0 and 1 for the same machine. But I suggest you make it separate because the conflict issue we had. So I'll go stay with install panel. So I'll type 0 and click enter. Now the data name, you don't need to worry about this part if you're not a technical person. And so don't worry about that. Email, you can be anything, any email at email.com. That's gonna be your any email. That's really matter actually. Click enter. This is the important part. So enter your actual email so you can get the mail part and stuff like that. So enter an email address. It can be anything. So just admin@admin.com, and username will be admin. It can be your username and stuff like that. First name can be anything. Last name can be anything. Password, it's gonna be your password to you to log into your panel. So mine's called admin. And this part is the most important one. So make if you have a domain that you own, then this is perfect. So you can actually manage your domain. So first we leave that be and copy the external IP. Next, if you own a domain, let's say I do not, let's say if you want to use a free nom domain, then you just register a domain. Sometimes you get something's like not available, something like that, but that's like the free nom, and it's not my issue, so I can't solve that. Right now I already have my own domain, so let's just use that one. So once you have once you go to your DNS management, add a record, type A. This can be anything. So if you want to do if you want your website domain to be host.lasm.ml, any domain that you own, you can be like that. Or if you want a naked domain, you can just do add if you want to. But for this tutorial, I'll do host.lasm.ml. The IP for address will be the website IP address that you have. So disable proxy if you're using Cloudflare, but usually if you're using Freenom DNS management, you don't even need to worry about this. But I suggest you disable your proxy, keep it to auto, and click save. And now once that is ready and it's like installed, now go to your SSH and copy exact domain that you show on the top. So mine's called host.lasm.ml. Click enter, click Y, press Y, and then it will say you want to agree with this HTTPS request. Just click Y and say there you go. If you say DNS verified, it's all good already. And we'll continue with the process. And now let's wait for it to like finish all the downloading and processing, so we can actually begin like twinkling with the panel and stuff like that. And once you say terms and service, just click agree or A. Just do all the DNS process part of your website. And now once it's the certificate and stuff like that, now it's all ready. Now next go open a new tab and type host.lasm.ml or ML or any domain that you set up on your DNS thing, and there you go. You see the login panel for it. For mine, it's gonna be called admin, and the password will be admin. Click login, and now you're on the panel and stuff like that. So look, your panel's all ready and to go. So next part will be the server nodes, like the nodes and stuff like that. I'll teach you guys in this video right now. So in location, you see create new. Create a new location. Shortcode can be anything. Call it main. Description, you can leave a blank or you can add anything there. Click create, and there you go. The shortcode is there and stuff like that. So next we're gonna go to node and create new. This could be your server node. So you can add any servers you want in here, and it will be all running in toward to this specific node. So I'll call this a node test. Node server. You can be anything. I don't really mind. Description if you want to add it, but for DN will be the domain. So we can set that up right now. So before I forgot to mention about this, you have to set up a firewall. So I forgot to add that part. So navigation menu, BBC network, and firewall. Now create a new firewall, and then just type anything you want. So node, specific tag will be the network tag of your virtual machine. So I'll call it node for my server. Source IP will be 0.0.0.0/0, and the protocols and ports are allowed all for the server porting and stuff like that. So allow all port, and then once your port's like loading, it's created. So good. So navigation, compute engine, then virtual machine instance. Copy and paste the external IP. Go back to your DNS management. Add a new A record. You call this node or anything to make your life easier. Copy and paste the IP address. Disable proxy. Copy and paste the domain as you did on the website. Click save. Now go back to Pterodactyl. Copy and paste the FNDN. But instead before we create the node, we can specify what's the configuration for your virtual machine. For mine, I set a gigabyte memory. That 1 gigabyte is equal to 124 megabytes. So keep that in mind. Memory over allocation, it can be 0 or any number, but I'll put in 5 just in case. Storage will be 25. That's what I said, I believe. So this location, yeah, 5 also. Before we create it, we're gonna go back to VM instance and connect to the server node that you want to link to your node on your panel. Wait for it to load. While it's loading, we're gonna copy the same script that we had before that we set up for the website. And this time, is to do the same thing, sudo /s. Let's make this bigger so you guys can see. Forgot to do that thing, but it's the same process. So copying that, there you go. And now I'll ask for your installation stuff like that. Instead of the panel, we're gonna install the wings. That's for the node part. So I type 1. Actually can't see it. But I did type 1 though. Let's say I type 1, so sorry for the big size thing. There, it says here 1. Click enter. And we'll just do all the virtual machines installation stuff like that. Let's wait for it to like do all the configuration, and then we can start begin the installation. And click yes, and yes. And now for the FDN, it will be the same thing as your panel one. So copy and paste that. Go back to your hosting thing. Oh yeah, no, not that one. I mean the root one, this one, the node one that you set up. Copy and paste that, enter. That will set up the FUQN thing. Click yes. It's the same setup for your hosting as well, so just let it install stuff like that. It can be any email. I don't really care. Click enter, proceed, yes. And I'll start doing the precision. The proceed installation part. You just wait for it to fully install and stuff like that. Now once your terms of service show up, just click agree as usual, and then just do all the certificate and stuff like that as you usually know already, as I told you before. And now it's all ready. But before we close this all up, we're gonna create a new node so it can get recognized. For now, we're gonna go to configuration, generate token, and then copy and paste this command. Go to your server that you want to connect this. Copy and paste that, and then click enter. That will do the configuration and stuff like that. And now it's ready. Now go back to your script. Copy and paste this one. That's sudo wings debug. That will show you all the info and stuff like that. We want to get the get one that shows get on the console, so we know it's working. So click OK, click about, and you will see all the info like that. And then go back to your console, and you see it says get, and it is all fully working and your server's good now. But before we actually fully start up, we need to go back to the script and then copy this. This will allow us to host it into the machine, so we don't need to actually have to keep opening it for the node to stay up. So once you refresh it, it show up like now. So it's all good, ready. So you can close this all if you want to now. It's all good and dandy. Now leave that, and then now next we're gonna go to allocation. And you see it's assign new allocation. For the IP address will be the internal IP. We copy the one that you know this. Copy that. Copy and paste that IP, the external IP for it. The IP ILS is for the external IP for people to connect your game and server and stuff like that. So IP ILS. For the port, you can be your game default port or anything that is default for you. For this demonstration, I'll set up a Minecraft server. That's the only server I can know how to set up. So by default for me is a Minecraft Java server, so 25565. That's the default port. And click submit. For another test, we're going to do a two servers in a single virtual machine. The same process. IP address will be the same thing. IP analysis everything. The port, it can be completely different from your original port. So I'll call this 25590, stuff like that. I don't care. It's gonna be any port if you want. Click submit, and I'll create two allocation. This could be two servers for your thing. If you're planning to set up two servers in your virtual machine, I suggest you buffer it up to like 16 or 32 if you plan to make a big server, or if you want like people to use the same virtual machine to your server. So I suggest you if you use it like 8, then that's not enough for like an actual 2 server. So you have to split it into 4. So that's why you for this demonstration I'm just doing 8 GB, which is not recommended, but it's stuff like that. For the user, it shows here, it's like your user email and stuff like that. If you want people to gain access to your server, then you can just hit create new, enter the email. It can be anything. So user@user.com. Username can be user, right name user, last name user. If you want to make if you want them to access the administration panel, which is the website I am in right now, the panel, then you can allow them. If you're not, then leave us know. If you want to provide them password, you can. But since we haven't set up a mail service yet, so I suggest you set up a password for this. So call it user, and click new user, and there you go. Your user account is now created, and now you can actually log into that account in this panel. So next you go into node. You see node list and stuff like that. Now once you see the node list and stuff like that, you see the node with the green heart, it means it's working now. So it's all up and running now. So go to servers, create a new server for our testing. It can be any server name, could be Minecraft server. It can be anything. Server owner, you can be your username or anyone that you want to give the server to. So mine is called admin. Node will be the allocation part. So by default, I want to set up a one machine for my server. So node server. Memory, I'll just do 4 for testing, and I'll give it 10 GB storage. For this, I'll put to Java 16, to the latest one. And I'll put this to paper, stuff like that. So I set up a Minecraft paper server into the latest version, so 16, version 17 I mean. So next you're gonna click create of the virtual machine. So click create server and wait for the server setup to create. So click this, that will show you to the processing information part. Yeah. Hello. Once your Minecraft server setup is all fully ready and up to install the setup, let's check the file management. It's the server files and stuff like that. It's there. Databases, the database you can enable them by adding the database when you do the server creation, which you can actually add it right now if you want to in the build configuration, I believe. It's in the build. No, it's in the. It's under startup. Yes, under startup. Sorry about that. That shows all the details, stuff like that. Databases, yeah, if you want to add database, but I think it's in the build configuration. You can allow database limit right there. But if you're not technical, so don't worry about that part. Schedule, this is allow you to do automation on your server, like commands, backups, and stuff like that. User, you can allow people to use your servers. So you can have multiple admins, you can say, on your server. So 2 admins can access the console at the same time. Backups will be the backup files, but this is the most important part though, but don't worry about that part. Networking will be the board and stuff like that. Startup will be the startup command. You can change this on the startup tab on your admin. You can change it with this one. You can fix that. And the micro version latest, it can be any version you want. Settings will be the SSFD details, which I'll tell you right soon after we do the panel setup. So now I'm gonna set up the server so we can test it. Since this is a first time setup, we had to agree the terms and conditions for the server, which we have. So wait for it to do the downloading part of the Java server. And now once it says server marked as ready, it means the server is fully ready. So for this testing, I'm gonna go to start up my Minecraft so I can test out if the server is running and it's working. Now let's see if the server is running and we can actually test it. So copy the IP by clicking it if you want to. Multiplayer, then go add server, click server address, copy and paste that, and just call it any server name. But let's see. And once you say Minecraft server, it's all ready to join. You click join and then it'll start joining, allow you to join the server. And there you go. Look, your server is now, you can actually join the server. For this, I'm using my old account because I haven't bothered actually using my actual account. But see, it works. You can keep yourself admin, owner, stuff like that. So actually, you don't need to put op in the command console. So op me. So here you go. There you go. Now it's officially op. So I can do the / game mode C. Game mode creative. There you go. Now it's like you can do anything you want in the server. Everything is pretty much in the file management, so you don't need to worry about the configuration and stuff like that. So look, it's all good and ready. Now, if you want to create multiple server, you do the same process, but this time with a different allocation port. So node server, default allocation, choose the new IP you choose for this Minecraft server 2. There you go. You put your admin account. This time I'm gonna add at least one database. I'm not gonna talk about database that much in this video because I don't even know a lot about it. But I'll teach you about the the backup and the allocation part. But I think you don't need the allocation part for your server unless you're setting up a website. If you plan to do that on your server, but you know what? That's your choice. So I'll put this in 4 and I'll put this 10. That's all good and ready. Instead, we're gonna set up a vanilla server and we're gonna put it in the latest, stuff like that, and the server latest, and click create server. That'll create the server for us, and you just wait for it. Now, if you want to stop the server on your panel, you can just click stop if you want to, and just click stop. There you go. Now the server stopped, and no one can join to the server unless you open it. For the second server that we have, you just wait for it to do the installation, which takes a while because sometimes the server is slow, sometimes not. But depends on the personal machine. Now, if I hit restart though, there you go. I think it's all ready now. You just click start. I'll just do all the startup process stuff, thingamatics. Go to my game, stuff like that. Click done. Just wait for it to start up. I accept. It's pretty much straightforward. If you guys follow this alone, easier for you guys to know. For this panel, we're gonna want to create a backup of the server. So once this is finished, you can just wait for it though. But while I was preparing, I'll just talk about the backups. The backups basically all the files inside the server, this specific server. If you want to create it, create backup, it can be any backup name. So I'll call it the GGGGG. You can do ignore files if you want to ignore the world folder, or you can just ignore the server.properties. They have to be separate lines though. It's gonna be like directories or world or files in your server, but you know, don't worry about that part. You can lock it if you want to prevent it from deleting. You click start backup, and this will create a backup of your everything inside here. You can download it from your files and stuff like that. I click download. I'll immediately download the files inside the server. Now, let's see right here. It's, you can see the files right there. You open it and see. There you go. Look, your files is inside here. In your if you have a zip management, then you can see all the files content. So that's all good and ready. For the database, I'm not sure about database because I'm not that experienced. But if you want to know about it, I suggest you search it up on the internet because I'm not bothered by doing this in the video. It's meant to be for simplified people and stuff like that. So I'll just simply create a database. So it can be any data. It can be like you can store player data and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna do that in this video because I'm not experienced in that one. And you know, as usual. Now once the server is ready, you just click copy the IP and actually refresh and see the microservice is ready. And once you join in, you know the server allows you to join in, stuff like that, and boom, there you go, you're in the server. It's pretty easy to actually do this, to be honest. I spawned in the island, that sucks. Anyway, look, I can break logs because, you know, with the server, you can see that it's a vanilla server. And if you want to host two servers in the same node, you just start this server up, and while this is running, you don't need to close them. You don't need to leave one running. As long as your virtual machine, which is this one, is running, and your server will continue running. So that's all good. I'll show you that it works in like when it's two servers running. So this is basically a perfect way to actually manage your server without actually have to do all the SSH stuff, because you're only doing it for the beginning part, like the startup and the setup part. And once it's all done, then you can configure everything inside this server panel, stuff like that. So it's easier for you to like use and allow users and friends to access the console, and you can collab and make a big server and stuff like that. For the Bungie one, you can just have two servers in and then you just copy and paste all the IPs and stuff like that. But I'm not doing that in this video. You guys can figure it out if you want to set up. I'm just doing this for like the panel and stuff like that. So that's all good and dandy. And next we're gonna do a more technical part, which is about the panel. So we're gonna do a more depth and stuff like that. So let's disconnect. You see there's two servers running, but this one's being because this one's like it's two setting up. Yeah, it's two setting up, but don't worry about that. So we're gonna be more in depth of the video. So this one we're gonna talk about like setting up a we call it the nest in the service management, like the eggs and stuff like that. Good service you can actually import eggs into. You can just like go copy code, add files. You can actually you have to download it first. So you can just download the zip file or download the egg. Yeah, you see the eggs in there. This is for the files management, stuff like that. So it'll be much easier for you to actually use it. So let's extract that quickly. There you go. And now everything's there. Now we can go to the egg file management thing. We can import an egg right now if you want to. For me, I'm gonna import a new egg. So I'm gonna just do not Java. I think it's game egg, and then go Minecraft Java. I can add anything in here because on the Pterodactyl one it's like only 5. While this one has like a lot of them, like in here. There's a lot. Don't even worry about this too. So if I want to add a new egg, I will do import egg. Select choose a folder, egg master, game eggs, Minecraft. So let's say I want to add a Moses. Actually, I want to add a I'll add a Moses. Let's say the server files for Moses. we're gonna click this one, the JSON file, open, and then that will open the JSON file. Click import, and that will go to the import, and you see everything's all like all good and ready. For the Docker image, if you're like more like a server files thing, management, like stuff like that, if you want to upgrade or change the server version, you can edit the Docker image. So in this Red Hat website, there will be like images, Docker images to be exact. So you can like put that Docker images in your server panel, stuff like that. For me, I want to like add a let's say a OpenJ JDK 11. So you click fetch tag, select the format. Let's choose tag, and you copy this part only. So you go back to the admin panel, and you can just add a new line for it, or you can just do it on the Docker side, which is the on your server panel thing. So I'm gonna go there, go to think startup, and you copy and paste the Docker. So that's the list. You can just put a custom Docker image in there, and you click save modification. Now, once you have like a Docker image, but you know, I don't need to add that at all. So that's basically the simplest way to add a egg. If you want to add a separate nest, call this new nest, bedrock, I don't care. I don't need to do this. Description, add anything, click save. That will like create a new nest for your server, stuff like that. Instead of clicking new egg, we go back to the new nest. You see your new nest is there. Import egg, select the associated nest, new nest, egg file. I want to add a bedrock's egg. So I'm gonna go to bedrock, this is the vanilla bedrock. Open that and import. Import a vanilla bedrock into your egg, and you can actually set it up. So to use these eggs, you can just you can either modify it into your server list by changing the startup service configuration to new bedrock, vanilla bedrock, and once you save the application, delete the files, and easier like that. And basically that's the basic stuff. So if you want more in depth about the Pterodactyl panel, join my Discord server and we can assist you with that part, because I'm not gonna do this video much longer because I have to do stuff. And yeah, next video will be a special video, so you don't need to subscribe because I don't really care about it at all. You don't need to watch this video. This is only if you want to watch it. And this is gonna be the final video about for Google Cloud Platform or any like server management stuff. But I want to make a different video content. If you don't like the video content I'm gonna upload in the next video, feel free to unsubscribe if you're subscribed. But overall, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
Wait tonight, better off. I'm gonna find my way tonight.